Virtuous marketers. What is your virtue? What is your method of mayhem, of madness, success, and all that good stuff? Seriously, guys, I've been speaking to a lot of people, reaching out to them on Facebook lately, trying to grow my presence as well as help other people grow theirs. And the one thing that I'm noticing with like literally everybody that I speak to, it's everyone has huge dreams, which is awesome. You gotta have big dreams. But I've also noticed that it's almost disconcerting. It's like there's so many big dreams, but everybody, excuse me, let me rephrase. Everybody has big dreams, but they have so many of them too. And so a lot of people have this, I want to do so much. I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this, that it really takes away from focus, right? Like, man, I did the same thing in my, if you watch the webinar in this video, it's the very first one that pops up on this page. I talk about the same thing. I wanted to start my electronics company. I had big dreams, but I ended up wanting to do so much stuff that I just overloaded myself and overwhelmed myself. So it's okay to dream big, absolutely, but don't spread yourself thin. Okay, just be careful about that. You have to know what's important to focus on. Pick one goal, one dream, one line, and go at it hard, right? Everyone thinks that they're like, I have to be the best on Facebook. I have to be the best with my Instagram page. I have to have this new product that nobody else has. I'm the first one. And it just simply isn't true, okay? Keep it simple, anything. Hey, Leslie, thank you for joining. It's just keep it simple, keep it focused, right? You got to just go after, see your goal, see your destination, and head toward it. You don't need to reinvent the wheel, okay? You don't need all this new stuff. You find somebody that has success stories and you emulate them, right? You just repeat it. I guarantee you, no matter what it is that you're trying to sell, I don't care how saturated that market is. Because the market that I got in was electronics. So I was trying to sell my personalized brand. And I show this a lot here. I love it. I'm going to revive this dream someday. I was really sad that I killed it, but I got my own computers and tablets. This is like the Microsoft, the Pro. And anyways, this is my brand Luminous, and this was a really cool tablet. And the market was so competitive that I couldn't sell at the price that Microsoft was selling for, obviously because they buy in huge quantities. But this was before I learned about ClickFunnels and offer stacking and all that good stuff. And I didn't really know anything about marketing. But now that I do, I realize that the competition, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. There's enough people that want tablets out there, okay? And if they can find something that's just as good as like the Microsoft one or as Apple or whatever, and you put it in front of them and you're like, hey, not only are you going to get this, but you're also going to get this, you're also going to get this, you're also going to get this. And I'll tell you what, you're going to become a member of my private Facebook group. That's called offer stacking, right? You're making an offer instead of just a price. And so what's so great about this is, and I wish I knew it when I first started out, because I ended up going the long way and starting a marketing agency because I took all these courses. I'm rambling, but the point is that hey, Ken, thanks for joining. The point is that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. It doesn't matter how saturated your market is. There's still ways that you can sell. It's all about building out your funnels and building out your formula. And you have to stay laser focused on what your dream is. You got to stay laser focused on that dream. If you don't, you're just gonna bury yourself. You're gonna be pulled in so many different directions because you're like, well, maybe I want to do Shopify. Maybe I want to do what was the other one that I used to do? It was Shopify and WooCommerce. I had 2 e-commerce stores going. Well, why? Looking back, I'm like, why did I have 2 e-commerce stores? There was literally no reason, but it's like shiny object syndrome, right? It popped up in front of me, and I'm like, okay, I got to do that. The whole point is like this Rubik's Cube. A lot of people think that like, oh, you have to be super intelligent to do a Rubik's Cube, right? It's this synonymous thinking that we have in our culture. And the fact of the matter is that you don't have to learn how to figure out how to do it yourself. You just figure out somebody else that's done it. You do the steps, and then you can do it, right? So then before you know it, you can end up doing all kinds of different patterns with it, And and then you can put it back. I'm not reinventing the wheel. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have to solve it myself. I emulated what somebody else did for success, and now I'm able to do it, right? And I have this one little thing here. I just gotta fix that real quick. But you kind of get the point that I'm driving home, right? Is that everybody overcomplicates everything, and you don't have to do that. Hey James, thanks for joining. You don't have to overcomplicate it. I'm not kidding. Everything, if you just stay laser focused and you go at it, you're going to start seeing results. How could you not? Right? I mean, think about that. Ask yourself that question. If you stay laser focused on one thing and you just go all in and just like, who cares if people rejected me? I'm going to keep trying to sell it. I'm going to keep trying to sell it. I'm going to keep trying to sell it. You're eventually going to sell the crap out of that thing, right? I mean, how could you not? It's impossible, right? People just on your determination alone, people feel like they feed off of your energy, right? It's like this rapport that you build with people. So when you get excited, they get excited, right? It's a great sales method. So, and that's another reason why you want to stay so focused on your stuff, on your products, because the more laser focused you are on your stuff, the more passionate you become, and the more passionate you become, the more passionate others become, and it becomes a lot easier to get that stuff going, right? So the one thing that I did want to talk about in this, the second thing I want to talk about, the first one was dream big, but don't stretch yourself thin, right? It's okay to do multiple things. I do it. I do PPC, SEO, Facebook ads, sales funnels. I do it all for my clients. So I stretch myself out, and it's okay to do multiple things. But honestly, I seriously just focus in on SEO, right? For my clients, that's my goal. And I'm like, hey, this is what you're missing. And then when we sit down and we're actually in a meeting, I'm like, bam, here's my whole thing that I sell. So I sell them everything, right? I got through the door with one thing, the one thing that I was laser focused on, but then I'm like, here's everything else. So it's just something to think about. That was the first thing I wanted to talk about. The second thing that I want to talk about is what makes people buy, is relationships, respect, and rapport. Anytime anyone ever buys from you, trusts you, they have to have like this relationship, even if it's not that strong of a relationship. They have to like get to know you, right? They got to warm up to you, because there's a lot of people out there that are sketchy, right? And how do they know that's not you? So everybody kind of has that reluctancy right off the bat. If they see your website, if they, maybe there's something on it that looks a little bit scammy on your website, because it's human nature, it's human instinct to question everything, right? It's a good thing. So make sure that when you're putting content out there, that you're building relationships, right? You're building a trust factor. Don't just like, so this kind of might sound like it's going counteractive to what I was just saying about staying laser focused. So like if you are pushing that one product, like in my case, like if I were to go back to my tablet here, and I love this thing so much, I'm going to resurrect it. That brand was just awesome, Luminous. But if I wanted to stay laser focused on this product and just focusing on the product, well, then it becomes damaging, because I'm not actually thinking about the customer, right? So that would be probably like a catch-22 in this scenario. So yes, it's great to stay laser focused, but don't forget to help people. And that's kind of why I threw those two little things in the mix, because sometimes they kind of, it's like a counterbalance, right? You go too hard into what you're doing with work that you forget about the customer, and then you go too far into helping the customer and you forget about the product and service, right? Does that make sense? So you kind of got to find that balance in there. So don't forget, that's pretty much those two topics that I wanted to talk about today. And also, I would definitely love any testimonials that you can give me to help me with my respect, my rapport, my relationships that I build with my clientele. I'm offering any kind of coaching that I can give. Like if I can look at your sales funnels, if you have questions with SEO, any Facebook ads questions, that's what I do in my agency, guys. So I'm willing to help and offer my coaching to you. All I ask in return is a quick little blurb on Facebook, patting me on the back. That's it. That's all I want. And it'll help me out. Testimonials are worth their weight in gold. Seriously, if you can get testimonials for your website page, I've seen so many people, right, that I was questionable on whether or not I wanted their service. And then I went to their website and I just see all these different reviews about them crushing it. And I'm like, well, that decides it. I'm going to go with these guys, right? It's amazing the perception. All these other people have trust with someone else. It gives you trust, right? And I talked a million miles a minute. I like to keep these videos as short as possible because all of our time is valuable. If you're gaining anything out of this group, make sure you drop a like and a comment, okay? I really do appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and you have a good night.